Okay, so now that we have the fire animation for the fire empty being basically done for the local client and server, we need to go about replicating it for remote clients. Now, I have contemplated three ways, and I'm going to discuss the three ways basically with you, kind of explain some pros and cons. And the first two ways are going to be through the ability system. Now, the ability system is great, but it is not for everything. And this is one of those cases. So, for example, method number one is going to use the firearm attribute. So, the way we would do it is in, say, when the owner is set of the firearm, such as, we're setting the pawn as the owner of the firearm, we are going to override the onRep owner function and fetch the owner's ability system component, find the firearm attribute set, and basically bind to the current magazine ammo attribute changing. So every time this attribute here changes, it's going to broadcast a function. And we're basically just going to respond to it. So if the value of that broadcast, that function that's being called for the attribute ends up being 0, then we know the magazine is empty, like so. And that's basically method number one. Now, the drawbacks of this is handling the state. So you're going to have a lot of replication kind of timing issues. So one, you need to know and make sure that the actual attribute set has already been added to the pawn. If not, you need some way to be notified or, wait for it to be added, for example. And that's kind of a challenge in itself. And then what happens if you switch firearms? Well, you're now reading the attribute set of another firearm. So it's going to be broadcasting on, well, the firearm that is no longer in your hands because it's put in your backs. Well, holstered, so to speak, in this case. Now, the method number two is through a gameplay tag. Now, this is better than method number one, but it has some very similar issues. So basically, inside of our ability on fire, basically we would be modifying this here. So when the magazine ammo is less than or equal to 0, what we would do is add a gameplay tag. So we could do that either via gameplay effect or by adding a replicated loose gameplay tag. Either way, we're going to be listening for that tag event. So when that tag has been added, just like with the attribute, it's going to broadcast an event. So we're going to bind to it. And when that function is called, we are basically going to just, again, run it, the firearm to slide lock. That's also fine, but again, we can switch firearms. So on our pawn, we now have, let's just call the tag magazine empty. So on the pawn, we have the magazine empty tag on our ability system component, which represents the state of the 1911. Well, when you switch weapons, you need to remove that tag. So that way, if you say switch from the 1911 to the BAR, that tag gets removed, and you can now add the tag when your BAR runs empty. Okay, well, what happens if you switch back to the 1911 again? You have to make sure you, again, set the tags up right and all that stuff. Then if you say reload, you have to remove that tag, and it's just a lot of back and forth, and there's no real state being kept. It's kind of tricky. Method number three is replace B magazine empty with a replicated variable. So what we're going to do is inside of here on the server, we are going to be, well, not the server necessarily. We're going to be doing this logic kind of client, like locally too. But we're basically going to be checking to see, if the magazine is empty. If it is, we set B magazine empty to true and replicate it. Otherwise, we set it to false and we don't really have to do anything at that point. So that's the method we're going to take. So just traditional replication. So in our firearm.h, let's go ahead and make our U property. It's going to be replicated and it's going to be a rep notify. So we're going to do replicated using equals, and we need to come up with a name. So first, let's just make the variable. So bool B magazine empty and false by default. So let's call the function onRep underscore magazine empty. Let's make a U function. Let's do void onRep magazine empty. Likewise, we are going to also need to replicate this. So let's go to our get lifetime replicated props, duplicate, and we are going to replicate B magazine empty. Now, in our case, we want to skip the owner because the owner already, has his own value. It's already handling, the either fire animation with ammo and fire animation without ammo. It does it all. So we can duplicate these params and rename it to params skip owner. So let's use that and do params skip owner dot condition equals condition underscore skip owner. And that takes care of replicating our B magazine empty. Now we just basically need to set the values. So let's head back down here to on fire, remove this B magazine empty declaration, and we want to kind of do this in a little bit of a different way, so to speak. Primarily, we want to do this, client side technically, and on the server. So when I mean local client and server, but remote clients, we do not want to do this at all because we don't want to overwrite this value. And what I mean by that is we're going to replicate this. So let's pretend we're on the server. So we set B magazine empty to true. So that's great. It's going to fire the on rep right here, which is going to play the fire animation for locking the slide back on the 1911. And then their on fire could potentially be called after that, which they're not going to have the correct magazine ammo. So they're going to basically locally set B magazine empty to false, which is going to then play the normal fire animation. So it's basically going to undo the work that was just done. So what we need to do is pretty much set B magazine empty only on the server and local client. So the way we can do that is if has authority, or let's do get, what is it, get instigator. Is it get instigator or is it get instigator controller? And in our case, we kind of need to do a little bit of a different, check here, basically to say, okay, are we locally controlled? So we can wrap this. Actually, if the controller is not valid, then yeah, actually this might be fine right here. So let's set this like so, and we can use B magazine empty, which we just want to kind of leave for the remainder of the clients. And once I'm done this video, I'm going to end up, kind of stepping through it as well. Anyways, let's go ahead, recompile and relaunch and just see roughly where we're at. Okay, once we're back in the editor, I just realized I forgot to actually implement the on rep. But basically, we just want to copy these two lines here where we play the fire animation, go to the on rep and paste them in, copy the firearm empty fire animation.get, remove that line, and replace firearm fire animation with it. And that's basically it. Now, we only want to do this if magazine empty is true. So if B magazine empty, we basically just want to play the fire empty animation. So let's go ahead and do a quick rebuild, and we hopefully are, for the most part, good to go. So we will play as two clients. Let's make sure we have slide lock, so empty the magazine. And we did not get slide lock. And that is because I, like the on rep, forgot to mark the property as replicated. So here we want to, if we are on the server, mark property dirty from name, class name being a firearm, variable being B magazine empty, and object being this. Now we want to do this only on the server and only if B magazine empty does not equal its old previous value. So const bool B old magazine empty value equals B magazine empty. What we can do in here is if has authority and B magazine empty does not equal B old magazine empty, which quite frankly I don't think it should in really any case anyhow, we want to go ahead and mark the property dirty. So we're going to replicate it because, again, we are using the push model. Let's go ahead and rebuild one more time. And now it should actually function. Unless I forgot something else, which wouldn't be that surprising. So here we are. Let's empty the magazine. And we have slide lock on both firearms. Let's do it on this client. And perfect. So we can reload. And we go to slide lock again. And everything seems to be good to go. Now let's check as a listen server. So we'll do client to server and server to client. So client to server. We hit slide lock. That's working just like it was before. One more time. Good to go. Then server to client. We hit slide lock. And again, we hit slide lock. So far, so good. Now, what we want to do is go to the, let's see. I just had it in my head. We want to try semi-auto. So let's go to our firearm logic component.cpp, comment out this timer, so the set timer, because we don't want this to loop. Go to the fire ability, change true to false, which would be here inside of handle target data, and as well as in the fire function, because we're basically just using those booleans to kind of act as a temporary placeholder for our fire mode. So we need to set up our fire modes at some point. So that, along with potentially, I don't know if I want to do it yet, I most likely will, the ability to switch between semi and full auto. Anyhow, let's go ahead and give it a try. So we left mouse button, and we just keep shooting until we hit slide lock. So last round, I think, and we hit slide lock on client and server. That is good. I did not mean to restart it. So same thing, server to client. Keep shooting, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And both client and server see the slide lock. Now let's do client to client. Where am I at? There we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And both hit slide lock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hit slide lock, reload. And same thing again, we hit slide lock. So that's working as we want. However, there is something I did notice. So let me just play with one client and you'll hopefully see what I mean. Specifically in the firearm with this print right here. So I'm going to shoot one shot. As you can see, we print out the local client, so that printed out. Then we, on the server, print out this, and then on the server, again, we print this out. So the server is basically calling the on fire twice. First time with the incorrect magazine ammo. I actually know exactly why this is happening, so I'm going to step you through the problem. So inside of activate ability, we're firing from the client first, so remember that. So client is going through, it's going to call press trigger, blah, blah, blah. It's going to call fire. And inside of fire, it is going to send target data to the server. So it's going to call handle target data, which simply sends the target data to the server. The server, once it receives the replication of the ability being activated, the RPC, it's going to also call press trigger. It's going to skip this and it's going to bind to handle target data. So basically, it is going to be listening for the client's target data to be received from this, it being sent from here. So once the server receives handle target data, it is going to go ahead and call perform fire effects. Now let's focus on the perform fire effects and the press trigger. So as the server, which calls press trigger, it is going to call press trigger, call on rep trigger count, because this is going to be true for the server, when the client is shooting. In the on rep trigger count, it calls fire, and fire calls perform fire effects. Now perform fire effects broadcasts the on fire, which is responsible for this log here, because we are in the on fire. Now, once the server also receives the replication from handle target data, it calls perform fire effects again, which again calls on fire. It broadcasts that delegate. So we're calling it twice. So what we want to do is in press trigger with our logic that we have, set up now, we can actually remove this chunk of code from the pressed and released. It basically does nothing at this point for us. So we can go ahead and run our live coding and check everything one more time and make sure we are good to go. So now that we have rebuilt, I'm going to fire one shot on the client again. And there we go. We have the client and the server. So let's one more time triple check everything. We'll start with client to client. Make sure we're good to go. So, whoops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Get slide lock. Let's reload. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And again, we hit slide lock. Let's check server to client and client to server. So first off, client to server, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We hit slide lock. And same thing again. On the server to client, we hit slide lock. And we hit it again. So we're good to go there. So now we can just remove some pointless, basically, stuff. So in firearm.cpp, we have this no longer used boolean. We can remove that parameter. Let's remove it from the header as well. Then we need to go to the firearm logic component, which has this trigger pressed released count struct, which contains that B is empty. Because we're no longer using it, we can remove it. Likewise, the onFire event no longer needs that boolean of B is empty, so let's remove the parameter and change it from declare delegate one param to just declare delegate. Now in our firearm logic component, we can scroll up to our onFire execute if bound, which passes in that boolean. We can just remove that boolean, close down the editor, and recompile just to make sure we can actually build and we didn't miss anything obvious. And in my case, I'm actually going to remove this log right here because it is getting kind of annoying when it appears multiple times every single time you shoot. Anyhow, we built successfully and we now have our last shot, fire empty animation being replicated to remote clients. And that's what we wanted. So with all that out of the way, I will see you in the next video. If you like what I'm doing and you want to help support me, you can find a link to my Patreon in the description below, where you can also get early access to this entire series.